Welcome to your December 1st Monday Power Hour meeting with Claire and Carly. I can't believe it's December 1st already. We made it. Almost. It's our start of our fiscal year. So for us, it's a new beginning.
That's right. New year for us.
It's a new year for us, which means we're going to be doing taxes and year-end stuff. And yes, so it's our new fiscal year. Claire was just about to open up with a pop quiz question. Do you want to open up with what you?
I must have missed this, but if you have a client that's selling the house, they're non-residents. Right?
They are non-resident.
They're non-resident. If your client's selling their house, so the buyer then being non-resident, the buyer has to withhold a percentage of the purchase price until the seller gets what's called a tax clearance certificate. You can get the tax clearance certificate before you sell your house or after you sell your house. If you do it before you sell your house, you're fine. If you sell it, if you do it after you've closed the house, then the buyer has to withhold a percentage of the purchase price until you do file your taxes. Question is, what is that percentage? It's been 25% for years. What's Google? What do they call their AI?
Gemini.
Gemini says it's 35 to 50%.
Oh, that's helpful.
ChatGPT says it's 25%. I just spent 2 minutes and put it on the Canadian website. I saw 25%. AI tells us 35%. So
I recently had a case.
So before you finish this meeting,
someone's got to figure.
Somebody can check it out and tell me what the answer is.
I recently looked into it for another agent, and at that time, it was just in talks of changing, and they withheld 35% just to be on the safe side. So it wasn't because there was a clear rule. I don't know if it's still.
Well, AI said as of January 1st, 2025.
And 25, yeah, and so mine was
35. So whether that's accurate or not.
Yeah, so I remember in that particular case, we'd held back 35. If they're so just to be clear, like there's a foreign ban to buy, but people can sell a house if they're a non-resident of Canada. No, they already bought it. They bought it like 30 years ago. Now they're a non-resident. Now they're selling that house. They can sell it, but we're going to withhold tax just to make sure that they do their.
So we'll find out what the tax is.
Gemini says 25% or 50% if it's an income producing property.
Oh, 50% of income producing.
AI.
Yeah, welcome.
So my lesson is this, okay? Don't believe AI.
It's true. Do your research.
You have to do your double search. You have to do a double search there. We don't know.
I can't say we can't believe AI. We promoted the damn thing. It came in.
Don't use AI anymore.
No, they're about to start doing your security checks at the airports, okay? You better start.
I did something funny on AI on the weekend there. So we have an agent that just had an operation. I'm not going to say who the agent is.
Yeah, of course.
They had like a hernia operation, nothing serious, but a hernia operation. Next thing you know, they bought themselves a hot water tank that they're going to install themselves.
What?
I don't know, it's just a crazy guy. So I went to ChatGPT and says, can you give me a joke that says you need a wife to tell you to don't do that? So it came up and it gave me a picture of a guy with a patch on it, the patch on his belly, on a hot water tank, with the caption saying that you just had an operation, the anesthesia must not have worn off yet. But anyway, so it created this joke, created the picture, put the caption, and it created the whole thing for me. So if you want to do,
for AI.
Point for AI. When you need creative images and jokes.
I was reading about some professor talking about AI, saying that AI gives you the answers, but it doesn't teach you anything. Mm-hmm. So yes, you can get the answer, but you don't know why it got the answer, how the answer came about, and why the answer's there. There's the answer, but it doesn't tell you how or why. So you really have to double check things. So even though it tells us 35%, which it probably is, if I go to the Canadian site, I see 25%. So you really have to double check these things.
Depends on if the website has been updated, or AI is just scrubbing other things, and it's going to come up with its best guess. So. Mm-hmm. But it's good.
A couple other goofy things, I guess. Want to Tales from the Street?
Yeah.
Tales from the Street. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Did this deal close?
I don't know which story you're about to tell.
The crane?
No, we walked away.
Good.
Yes, that is an interesting story. Yes.
Our buyer buys a house in Brampton. Doesn't really matter, but Brampton. And then the day before closing, we find out that there's a construction going on behind this building. They're building a condominium. And the condominium is going to be so many stories tall. It's going to take 10 years by the time they build it and blah, blah, blah. So the builder gave the seller $100,000 because the crane's going to go over the top of their house.
Oh,
And they have to go underneath their basement and do some underpinning and cribbing for the garage and stuff like that. So they paid them in 3 installments, $50,000 and then 25 and 25. The last $25,000 was paid to the seller last week. So the seller sells the house. We're supposed to close on Friday. We find out that the seller got $100,000 and never told our buyer.
Never disclosed
Never
anything.
disclosed anything, never disclosed that there's buildings going on, never disclosed he got cash, never disclosed anything. So the buyer did not close.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
now?
We did a mutual release, we
went
walked
to the
away.
seller saying, hey, that $100,000 belongs to us for the next 10 years. And they said that money's already been spent.
Yeah. Yeah, so we would have closed if we got the funds for that agreement. They have to take the burden of all that stress. Why would they, so we walked.
Does he have to disclose this?
Yes.
It says cloud on title. Because the builder
is on title.
The builder put it on title.
So how come the lawyer?
The-
And the lawyer didn't find it, that's another story.
Yeah, secondary question is why we only found out day before closing, but
It should be in a title search.
Yeah, it should have been on title search, and it should have been title search date, but a lot of, I don't know how the details work, but I suspect, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect a lot of agents are relying on title insurance to do their job.
So we did not close
Yeah.
it?
No, buyer did not close.
So now we go to court?
Well, if they don't get the deposit back, it will.
no, yeah, we did a mutual release.
Would
Curious,
title
right?
insurance help with anything in this situation? If they did close?
If it had to close and title search, maybe, but title search is not going to give them any money. They're just going to take things away, right?
Yeah, and the issue was the $100,000 that the seller received. We wanted the benefit of that for that agreement.
So be careful out there. What's going on? You got to disclose everything. You can't be doing that, right?
Can we complain against this agent?
Complain against the agent.
Well,
Okay, so if you're a missing agent, can we complain against you for not asking the client about this? You think the client might have told the agent about this $100,000?
But the crane is right there, right? You can see
No,
it.
it's not. Right now, it's just a blank lot. Right now, it's going to take. It's over the next 10 years. They're going to be doing this.
Yeah, it's not, yeah.
So the process would be like the client has to sue to our agent, and our agent can sue to the listing agent, and then listing agent sue
No,
to
no.
the
So
seller.
the deals between the buyer and the seller. We're just agents. We didn't buy it. We didn't sell it. Any lawsuit between the buyer and the seller. If the seller says, "Hey, you didn't protect me," the seller can sue the agent for, "Hey, you didn't protect me. You didn't tell me about this."
Or I told you and you didn't disclose it.
All right. So the listing agent could have an issue if he was aware of it, which he likely was.
So is the other guy going to give some money to the...
No, the
They-
deal's dead. There's
deal's
too much
dead,
money
they
and the
walked
money's
away.
spent. So. All right. So the deal just didn't.
And that's why we don't congratulate you until the deal closes.
Until you get the money in your account.
I'm not kidding. Anything can happen right up until closing, right? Like,
You get the
And then
money in
something
your
else
account.
happened on the weekend, and hopefully it'll be settled today. But this is twice now it happened. It happened at Power Sale, and it happened on this one here. This was not Power Sale. There's a hot water tank. We're the buyer again. Hot water tank rental. So we're prepared to pay the rental. Turns out that the company that has the hot water tank went out of business, and they're not letting that contract be assumed. So they want to buy it $4,000 for the hot water tank. So the seller's broker saying, so is seller's lawyer saying, so sad, too bad, you guys have to buy the property. Buyer's saying, we're not buying the property unless we get the hot water tank. We're not going to pay another $4,000. So now the two lawyers are fighting over this whole thing. We had the same problem with a Power Sale some time ago. That was a lien on the title, and Power says, I don't care, buy it or don't buy it. We're not removing anything. We're not paying for anything. We're not removing anything. So there's where you get into a fight where obviously the seller's in fault, but the seller's not cooperating. Mm-hmm. So do we close and sue, or do we walk away? What do we do? Right? And,
Yeah.
and everybody can say, well, no, the seller has to pay for it. Well, the seller says, I'm not paying for it. So now what do we do?
Negotiate.
yeah.
Seller says, too bad, so sad, I'm not doing nothing. You buy the house or don't buy the house.
And this is happening today. This is the attitude.
This is the attitude. And what
Yeah.
happens here, don't want to say, well, the first thing you hear from, how would I say it without being bad? First thing you hear from a real estate lawyer is, I can't do this, you gotta talk to a litigation lawyer. Anybody got that one yet?
Talk to?
Litigation lawyer. And the reason why they do that is because a lot of people, and this is a personal comment, a lot of people will beat up a lawyer for his fees. And he says, for $350, this is what you get. Once you start talking fights, I'm out of here, get your own lawyer. You know what I'm talking about? Because the agent will say to me, the lawyer's not doing anything, lawyer this, lawyer that. Well, I don't know the situation here, but that's what happens.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right?
What you're saying. I mean,
Just like real estate agents, right? You got strong agents or not strong agents, right? Like anybody
you
else.
pay or you don't pay.
Can I go back to like the other point, like for the title search,
Title search for
the crane?
the hot water tank?
No crane.
Can that be a
For the
reason
crane,
why-
sorry.
For the crane, yeah. Like, would a cheaper lawyer not do that?
I think that, well, no, my only problem there is the problem still be there. But we would have
Yeah.
found out 3 weeks before, like during the title
Yeah.
search, instead of the day before closing.
So
Problem is still a
Can the
problem.
comment be made that you should pay for a better lawyer?
In this case, I will say it was actually a decent lawyer, so I'm actually not sure. I don't know why we only found out a day before.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know. You don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, nobody wants to go to court, right? But you understand, everybody has their specialty, right? So there's litigation lawyers and there's real estate lawyers, two different jobs. Right?
Yeah. It is interesting.
Any other tales on the street? Going for Nelson here.
No, the good thing is I got some calls this weekend for a change.
Okay, good.
People were out there doing stuff. I think some activity. I don't know what the stat is for showings and stuff, but
All right, so here's another one then. I don't know how to answer this one though. I'm going to give you more questions than answers. Somebody buys a house, and there's an inspection done on it. But in the offer itself, there's inspection, financing, so on and so forth. But there's also a clause in there that says that the seller warrants that the fixtures and chattels would be in good working condition. Anybody seen that clause before?
yeah.
So they do a home inspection. Again, I haven't got the answer, I'm just telling you the facts. They do a home inspection, the buyer does, and he finds out a bunch of stuff wrong, and including like the hot tub and some wiring and some things to be fixed, blah, blah, blah. So then the buyer gives an amendment to the seller saying, I want this wall fixed, I want this electrical thing fixed, I want this thing fixed. And that's what they talk about, right? And then they waive their inspection and waive their financing and whatnot. So then they find out that they go there and they say the hot tub doesn't work. Hot tub has not worked for 2 or 3 years. Hot tub does not work. In the inspection, they never put in there, fix the hot tub. During the inspection, the hot tub was identified as being beat up. So now they're suing the seller because the seller said that all chattels and fixtures are in good working order.
So they put an exception.
Even though the inspection showed that the hot tub didn't work. Because the hot tub doesn't work. And the seller warrants that chattels and fixtures are in good working condition. The hot tub hasn't worked for 2 or 3 years. Hasn't even been winterized.
They should put it as is.
Thoughts?
They should
Oh,
put
no,
it as is.
no.
That's
You've already got in there good working order. How can you have good working order and as is?
No, so during the negotiation, you should put it as is.
Seller never told us, by the way. Seller never told us hot tub doesn't work. So we're clean on this.
No, but you said
Inspectors saw it, but they never mentioned it in the amendment.
Oh, that's bad. mean,
I don't know, what is it? So my point is this.
No, still, I think seller is responsible for that one.
Okay? Seller's responsible. He's saying that the buyer's responsible because the buyer knew in the home inspection.
Doesn't matter.
The purchaser has to get it fixed.
So here's my point to you guys, okay? My point to you guys is if there's a home inspection and you've got in there saying that everything's in working condition and the home inspection says the hot tub's not working condition and there's nothing there that closes that circle up, then think it through.
There should have been. Should have been that the seller would fix it and the buyer is to re-inspect it, make sure it's working.
Right?
Or that they acknowledge that it's not working and no one's fixing it.
Now, just caveat here, just so you know, the agent themselves, the buyer themselves was an agent, so I wonder if they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
No, agents wouldn't do that.
Agents wouldn't do it on purpose. No, I don't think they did it on purpose, but it's kind of curious. So I asked the judge anyways, like the buyer knew.
Reduce the price by $100,000.
Here's the things that the lawyers would say. Was the hot tub in that condition when you bought the house, and it's going to be in that condition when you move in? follow me?
The judge will say that?
Judge will say that. And they're going to come back saying, well, no, well, the seller warrants it's good working condition. Well, you knew it wasn't working condition, so here we are. So it's going to take a judge. Whereas if it had something in there saying as is, then we wouldn't be here, right? Or if the seller had told us, by the way, the hot tub doesn't work.
And I think in a market like this, you're going to see more of these unique issues. This is the time you need to be more creative and thorough and diligent, because the little petty things in this market's going to come up all the time. This is our new world now.
Even on a day of inspection, it's working. But on a day of closing, if any appliances or anything, any fixture doesn't work, and on the same day, the buyer find out that it's not working, seller is responsible for that.
Correct.
On a day, same day. Next day, buyer is responsible.
That's right. Everybody follow that?
Yeah.
So this warranty shall survive the close of this transaction, blah, blah, blah. It's just that one day. I mean, they got one day to say, hey, the dishwasher doesn't work or this doesn't work. They can't wait a week or 2 weeks because, hey, you broke it, not me.
Yeah, but that clause is not always there.
That's right. Yeah. So be careful with your clauses. Be careful what you're doing, but it's curious, right? And ask the client. In this case here, our agent, by the way, just has a checklist. And is this working? Is this working? Is this owned or not owned? But they have a little checklist there, so they've covered themselves.
Yep.
Tales on the street.
Yeah, that's fun. That's good. Want to start off with the market? Or open houses. Who did open houses this past weekend? I know Ron did. Yeah. How did it go? That
Quiet.
quiet.
5 Rush Road. Tenants listing down in Leslieville.
In Leslieville. Yep.
2-bedroom, bathroom.
Okay.
It's kind of like the first cold weather, so we did one on Thursday night.
Thursday night. Okay.
Outside of the downtown, that was specifically quiet.
Yeah, it was. But it was good to try it out. Why not? I think you had one person through though, didn't
We
you?
did have one person through.
Yeah.
So those people at home. So Ron tried an open house.
The directional signage, works.
Yeah.
You see it. It's very, very close to Queen Street. Some of the signage you put. I was able to put some signage at the parks close by.
Yeah.
They did pull some people through. Because I kind of ask people when they come in, like, how did you find out about the house?
It's because of signage.
So I did walk away with some buyer leads.
Okay, good.
Actively communicating with one right now, which is excellent.
Yeah.
I feel like in the 2 days, I would say 2 groups came through that might have had interest in the listing. So I'm kind of curious if you've had any follow-up.
I've got 2 showings for
Okay. So that was a Leslieville townhouse Thursday night open house, only one person through, and then way more on the weekend from signage on major streets like Queen Street and things like that. Some leads and then some showings booked after, so that's good.
For those people at home that didn't miss it, Ron did an open house on a Thursday between 5 and 8, I believe, right?
Correct.
And had a couple of people through.
I still think it's worth a shot to try. If you're not doing anything else, why not?
So I mean, I had the fireplace on.
Yeah, if you live in the area.
Got the fireplace, and then the good thing with that house in the evenings, it's got from Leslieville, it's got a west view from the rooftop. So it looks a lot nicer at night when the whole city is. So,
Nice. That's okay. Good. Anyone else? Rochelle? Saturday?
Yeah, in Oshawa.
Oshawa?
Semi-detached.
Semi?
2-bath. I had 11 groups come through.
11 through.
Yeah.
Was that a brand new listing or?
It's Sanjay's.
Okay, so
It
yes.
was brand new. It was
Yes, it
only
was.
3 days on
And I think
the
he's holding offers on it too.
It sold conditionally Sunday.
Yeah. I think they got an early offer.
Offers in total.
Yeah, that's good.
3.
Were you involved?
Yeah, we were supposed to
Yeah.
have the presentation on Thursday, and then we got the preemptive, and then 2 more came in right after.
Okay, wow, good.
Yeah, it was good. It was busy. A lot of first-time buyers that were out.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
somebody did an open house in Oshawa. For what's the price on that one?
It was $4.99.
Ouch. Okay.
For a semi.
For a font, is there a typo?
No.
$4.99 for those people at home. So we had 10 people through. Did you pick up any other buyers?
I'm talking to a few. so
Talk to them. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And he said mostly first-time home buyers?
Yeah.
And you knew because you had asked? Like,
Yes,
yeah.
I was
Okay.
talking to them while they were there.
That's a good price point for them.
How much
So.
did it sell for?
Conditionals.
Ask Sanjay.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a marketing price at $4.99. So hopefully trying to get high 5s and 6s.
Yeah. And I know that those
Probably said
particular
something.
clients had some motivation too. They wanted to sell and they got an offer. They didn't play around. They said, let's do
I think
something.
the offer that came in was good though. And
Yeah.
when I just checked, like, hey, did you get a good offer? He said, yeah, we got a good offer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it was
good.
definitely in the ballpark they were looking for sure.
Yeah, that's a nice condo alternative.
You know what? It's nice because there's no maintenance fees. Price point was good. It showed very well, but I think right now the showing really plays a big role because it was staged beautifully. It was cleaned really well. It smelled good.
Yeah.
So like it really drew, like everyone was impressed.
Yeah, it had all the things: price, promotion, presentation, everything. Right? Good. Cool. Any other open houses? No. That's good. So it's a little bit busier than the weekend before. Then it sounds like.
You want stats first, or you want
It's
just?
totally up to you.
It's your show.
I was gonna say, did anyone attend the Wednesday session or try to attend with Cove? The presentation itself was not that great online. So Caitlin wanted me to mention that though, because that could be you if you're not prepared for a listing presentation. So you should use that, because can you imagine if you did a listing presentation and did not prepare, did not review anything, did not know your stats, and you came live in front of your clients? That's what you're going to look like if you don't prepare. That guy probably didn't look at the tool. I think it was his first time. I don't know for sure. We're speculating, right? I know they're going to redo that presentation for sure, and that guy will have more practice, but that's the lesson. You've got to be prepared as well, right? Because that's what you look like when you're trying to talk to a client live. It's hard to fake that and make that look smooth, and unless you've done it over and over. So just a lesson to get prepped for your listing presentation, so that's not you in front of somebody live, right? But they are going to redo that presentation, I believe, with the owner. I think the tool itself is cool. I think some people got on to use it, but we'll do a new presentation. So yeah.
That was also a learning lesson for us.
Learning lesson. We were the guinea pigs, but I think that is the learning, right? So I think so.
He might have been thrown in the last minute too.
Totally. That's why there's no blame or anything, right? It's just preparation.
I think somebody else was supposed to do that presentation.
I think so,
At least they
too.
just threw this kid in there, let him do it. I think that's what happened.
Yeah. So.
Well, it used to be. So, right?
Yeah, but no, preparation's key, right? No, the stats are okay though. I'll let you go right into stats.
Okay,
but
so we're doing
yeah.
some stats right now. We got a bunch of other stuff about current events and whatnot, but
Yeah.
the month's over, November 30th. We got one more month to go for the year.
So don't give up now. There's a whole month
Generally,
left.
December is a slow month, but we felt the second half of November seemed to choke off a little bit there, right? So it came down a little bit. So maybe Christmas came early this year. You guys, what do you guys think? Same thing? Everybody notice that November was sort of off a little bit, or no?
We definitely noticed it's off. I wouldn't say it changed dramatically. It changed very slightly in the past 2 weeks.
Okay. Anyway, so we've got 25,600 active listings.
So it's gone down.
So that's down from the peak in 30,000, wherever it might have been. There's 14,000 freeholds, 10,000 condos. So there's more freeholds for sale than there are condominiums. Vacancy rate's gone down. Only 36% of their properties are vacant, although 30% are freehold or vacant, and 44% of condominiums are vacant. Anybody got condominiums they're trying to sell right now? Anybody have condominiums? No?
Yes.
Yes? No? Yeah? No?
Yes.
No? Yes? And what's happening there? Is it dead, or?
Yeah. There's but one showing every 2 weeks.
And what are we doing about that?
We're chilling.
We're chilling?
We're chilling too. We're chilling.
Does the rule apply? They have to declare whether it's vacant or...
Yeah, we just got our yellow letters now.
Just if you got 44% of these condominiums vacant, everybody knows that the land transfer tax for Toronto is going to be 3% of the entire assessed value.
But if you have it up for sale though, it's an exception.
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure.
He wants to know if you're trying to sell it, do you get an exemption?
I think for 6 months, there's a time limit though. I think you have to prove that you had it on the market in an attempt to sell, but there's a time component. It's not more than 6 months, I don't think.
In any case, we all know. Let me just think about it. We all know that prices have dropped, right? And
Yes.
Do you believe that condominium prices are going to rebound?
In like 5 years.
People that have listings right now, they're chilling. I'm thinking.
No.
Like we're just chilling. Okay, let me think about that. So I'm not going to say who it was, but You have a listing sitting there that's not selling, so what are we doing about it? We're chilling, okay. Chilling for what? Like, does that mean we're waiting for the prices to come up? Does anybody believe the prices? Does anybody believe the prices are going to come up
No.
in condominiums?
For us personally, we're chilling until January. We don't want to do a relist with a new price in December. It kind of is like a waste of a new marketing strategy. So we want to do it after Christmas.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
So we're chilling until Christmas, and then we're going to do a
Until the buyers get back
yeah.
in the buyer mode. Okay. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Well, that was only me. I don't know if I can't speak for everybody.
I've got an article, just off topic.
It's okay.
There's an article here I've written down. It's going to go off the top of my head right now. Kitchener. And this guy here is saying here that this Palalis guy. Kitchener, the condominiums right now are selling, resale condominiums in Kitchener selling for $650 a square foot. So you got a 600 square foot place that's selling for about $390 or so. All right?
300,000.
Three.
So 600 square feet.
600 square foot selling for $390,000.
Yeah.
All right. Except in this one particular complex, this builder sold 5 units at $1,000 a square foot. All right. So he sold it for like $600,000 instead of $390,000. And then the person looked at it and says, "Wait a minute here. There's 5 sales at $1,000 a square foot. All 5 sales were listing. The seller was the builder." And all 5 sales, the buyer's agent that bought it double-ended it. So it was a builder's agent that double-ended it. And the comments that the writer was making is it sounds like it's a lie.
Fraud.
I don't want to say fraud. It sounds like it's because these deals have not closed. All they have is written. So the builder's pretending that these things are selling for $1,000 a square foot, when in fact the market says it's only $650. So there's shenanigans going on out there. This is manipulation, and he's trying to pretend that, oh, look at these, the comparable sold for $1,000. So he's trying to get the appraisers to appraise properties at different prices based on the sale price of these properties, which have not closed.
And we know blanket appraisals exist.
So little things going on like this, right? So it's kind of curious. So. Anyways, so this is not new. They did this in new home sales back in the 50s and 60s. You get a brand new development. Everybody been to brand new development? You got a picture of the neighborhood there, and you got all the houses on the map. What the salespeople would do the first time they had an opening, they'd pick the red stickers and put red stickers on 4 or 5 of them. So people would walk in and, oh crap, this thing's selling like hotcakes. I better buy one too. This is the same thing this builder's doing, right? Except these builders fooling around with prices. What they also used to do, they pick the better properties and they pick like a back, the big lots or the ravine lots, and put red stickers on those. And somebody comes, gee, I'd like to buy that one there. I like that lot. So, well, I think that guy's thinking about backing out. And then they find out. Right? So it's all salesmanship.
Yep.
So it's funny. Back to sales. So vacant 36%. Sales are 5,000. Actually, come around 4,900. My numbers are different than Trev's. Trev's are generally about 100 to 200 more than mine. So don't be surprised if Trev comes in around 5,000, 5,100 sales. But my numbers are 49. So they're actually down 15% from November last year. Freeholds are down 12%, and condominiums are down 21% from November last year. So that's just the sales themselves.
New sales.
New. We're going to talk about that today too. Be very careful with headlines and news right now. They love talking about the only 50 condos sold. New, brand new construction.
Anything that you read in the newspapers or articles talk about how bad sales are in condominiums, they're talking about new builds and new builders. They're not talking about resales.
Yeah, 1,600 sold resale condos.
Yeah. Sales over 101%, 16%. Almost 20% of freeholds are selling over asking, and only 11% of condominiums are selling for over asking. So again, that's a manipulation. So you're doing that on purpose, right? Projected months of inventory is going to be 5.2. So you got 4.6 months of inventory for freeholds, 6.4 months of inventory for condominiums. Everybody understands months of inventory. 4 months is sort of balanced market. Below 4 is the seller's market. Above 4 is the buyer's market. So condominiums are 6.4. That's quite a bit of difference. Leases themselves are 19,000 active leases out there, 9,000 freeholds, 10,000 are condos. Vacant, almost 60% of all properties right now are vacant that are for lease. Leases themselves are actually up 10% from last year, about 7,300. There's more leases now than there are sales. Again, up 10%. And as of October, from October last year for leases this year, it's minus 11%. Back to sales. Sales for October like last month versus this month, they're down 18%. So it's interesting.
So it's down. Still down 15%, right?
Yeah, it's down, not dead.
That's right. That's fair. Things are still moving. What do we think is going to happen to 2026? Does anyone else have predictions? What are you feeling like it might happen for your own business? What's that?
You guys are doing a business plan, right? So do you project how many sales you're going to do for 2026?
Should be. Do you guys want to do a business planning session? Caitlin's asking me to do a survey as well. I only saw like 2 people. Another. Okay, a couple. Yeah, you do want to do something? Because last year we did like a vision board type thing. Do you want to do something like that again, or more true business planning with numbers?
Yeah.
Vision board? Okay. You're saying no? You want to do hardcore planning? You want to put the numbers of sales you want to do next year?
I need that.
You need that. Okay, so maybe we'll have to figure out a blend then.
Bottom line is business planning session.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, no, that's a good survey. What do you think is going to happen 2026? I'm going to ask you for your predictions because I've got some surveys of what other people think are going to happen. But
I think prices are going to, hopefully prices come down a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got 5% in my mind.
5% prices and then sales.
I think volume too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't.
I think volume as well, 5%.
You think volume's going to go down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So a lot of people are predicting volume's going to go up slightly, about 3%. Alex?
What places are vacant? Is there actual pent-up demand, or is that just like a...
That's right.
Yeah.
The question is, with all these properties vacant, what do I say, 64% of condominiums are
Mm-hmm.
vacant. Do we have a shortage of housing?
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it the media just trying to sell newspapers, or is it a real thing?
Yeah.
Because the builders aren't building houses, and we have all these vacancies.
I know. It's true. I think people are still, this has been the common theme all year, job security, political. I think people are still scared. I think the pent-up demand's there because you can see it in showings. People are coming out to see houses. They're coming to the open houses. They're out, but no one's making offers. Like, I think the deals are very hard to come by right now. I think the offers are really hard to come together. Every deal takes like 2 to 3 weeks to come.
I always want money back after they do a homeless thing.
Well, I've noticed it's taken 2 months to get an answer from Scotiabank for a refinance and a month for a new mortgage.
So is that a sign that they're not super, for those online, as we're saying refinancing is taking longer too. Is that a sign that banks are just not willing to lend as much right now? They're just not as eager and as excited to lend?
Their underwriters are overworked, and they just laid off a bunch of people. So
Yeah.
they were 2 weeks behind 2 weeks ago.
But that's also a sign there, right? Job security right there. So yeah,
I also
most.
saw BMO is reducing a lot of people's line of credits and credit cards
Okay.
randomly. So like they're sending out like even if like it's paid off and stuff. Oh, we're closing your account. Even people with good credit scores and stuff.
Interesting.
You can look at the article about it. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're closing their
The
credit
line
card
of, line of
accounts?
credits. And,
Reducing
In
limits.
line of credits?
Yeah, reducing
because
limits,
they're not using
yeah.
them, or?
No, just I don't know what their back end is, but maybe BMO's kind of
it feels like the energies are pulling back a little bit too.
Let's give people less access.
Yeah, and that could be based on income or job change too, or situational as well, right?
How many people they have done that?
I don't know. I've seen it like it's been happening, so I'm not sure how.
Yeah. So some of the predictions, 3% up in sales. Some people are predicting the larger jumps are going to be in our like suburban areas. So they're predicting Grand Bend, Barrie, Caledon, Mississauga, sort of the areas outside the urban cores. And that's because those are still the most affordable areas. We still have affordability issues in Toronto and Durham even a little bit as well. So think about that when you're doing your business planning. If we're predicting, Claire's predicting 5% down. even though the other people are predicting a little bit higher. But what does that mean for your business planning? You've got to predict that as well, right? And I'm going to talk a little bit about, Caitlin gave me some stuff to show you too about how to get clients right now. But if we're predicting the market to be down or flat or only marginally very high, you have to consider that too, and with the work that you're going to do right now. You might have a very similar year to what you had this year. And if this year was very challenging, what are you going to do differently? Because you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. This might be our new reality as well.
You also remember we're just talking about overall averages.
Yep.
Like 5%, 3%, doesn't really matter because I know individual agents, it's up to you guys.
That's right.
Right? There's guys that buck the system all the time. Just because the whole system does this doesn't mean you have to. You can buck the trend.
No, it's true. Overall, Canadians are still prioritizing home ownership in general. So we've talked about this before, how Canadians still love to own real estate and they still view it as a healthy investment. So even though the market's down, there's a survey that was done it was on the housing market outlook. 10% of Canadians still plan to buy a home in the next 12 months. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but still 10% of people feel a bit positive about the market. And then this is maybe not surprising, but half of those are first-time home buyers. So I think there's going to be a great opportunity for the condos right now. As condo prices still go down, there's still going to be an opportunity for first-time home buyers to do that if they want condos. So we still know for sure there's still a bit of a drive towards that single-family house, but then places like Durham are going to become nice. When you think about a $499 semi versus a condo, that might drive a lot of attention there too. But even though in spite of tariffs, sluggish job market, there's still more than half of Canadians feel the economy will worse. Even though they feel like the economy is going to worsen, they still have goals to buy a house, which is interesting. But what has changed is the investor mindset. So these are people buying a house for themselves to live in, for them to grow families in, maybe some generational housing as well. No longer are people looking at it as an investment. People are much more moving towards stocks, and I think the stock market has done better over time than the housing market in terms of investment. So that's not a bad thing for us either. It's just going to go back to a balanced market, and housing is going to be what it really should be for, which is to live and enjoy. Do you guys see that in your client pool? Like, are people positive? Like, they know the market's not great, but they want to get into it? Yeah? Alex?
Well, I'm noticing they have a multifamily for sale, or maybe not moving.
It's not moving at all. That's 4 units, right?
I just dropped the price of $1 million to 2.5, and I only have like 2 or 3 showings.
Yeah.
But like, people don't want to invest anymore. They don't want to deal with tenants. Everyone that's shown the property in the past will give it to me vacant or sell it vacant.
Yeah, vacant or turn it into a semi, like a duplex or something, right? 2 single-family houses.
Is the rent they're paying current?
It is, but it still doesn't keep up with even like the taxes. Taxes on the property are $15,000 a year, and the bills and stuff like that. Like the rent doesn't keep up.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I think we're seeing that right now. I think most of your buyers right now are going to be people that want to live in it and enjoy it. And even this survey was talking about the wealth transfer of generations. You've talked about this before too. We're going to see a huge wealth transfer from baby boomers through to millennials through to new first-time home buyers, and that's going to be happening a lot in 2026. And a lot of what drove the market this year was new Canadians and retirees. So doing that downshift and moving their wealth around as well. So the survey is interesting because even though people have sort of a negative outlook on the market and what's going to happen, they still want to participate in owning a house. And that's just like the Canadian way, I think. So it's a good thing for you as a real estate agent. You can keep going if
My
you have
turn?
fun
Okay,
stuff.
so last week they announced the CPI. Was everybody paying attention to that? No?
No, they're waiting for us to let them know.
Right. So the CPI, it's the cost of living, right? The Consumer Price Index, so it came in at 2.2%. The articles will say that it went up. It actually didn't go up, went down from last month. So it's at 2.2%. Last year in November it was November 25, 24 was 2.0. So it went from 2.0 to 2.2. So it went up, was that 10%? But in September it was 2.4. So it went from 2.4 to 2.2. So the reason why I'm saying that is on December the 10th, we have the Bank of Canada is going to announce the overnight rate for the interest rate. So if it went from 2.4 to 2.2, what are the chances that the interest rate is going to drop a quarter point? Because if you guys remember, they started dropping the rates because they wanted the CPI to be less than 2%, right? So it's 2.2 is not that far off. Anybody, any prediction? Everybody thinks it's going to stay the same or come down?
Stay the same.
Stay the same?
That's my vote. Down.
Down?
Yeah. Stay the same.
Stay the same? Okay, mortgage people?
Increase.
Mortgage people, up or down? Down?
I did hear a stat that, so consumer spending is still high, but it's because 70% of spending is being done by the top 5% income earners. So I don't know if they take the risk to use that information into account, but
Yeah.
the only reason consumer spending is still strong.
Yeah, it's almost like two worlds, right? I was reading something as well that I couldn't understand why the Americans, I guess it comes up the same with us too, but why the Americans are saying the economy's tough and people are struggling and people are having a hard time, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the stock market has been the highest stock market it's ever been in history.
Yeah.
So why is the stock market booming and everybody's saying how affordability's gone down and everything else? So it goes back to what Roy or Alice just said. It's only 5% of the people who hold stocks. So the rich are getting richer and the poor get poorer. Now stocks, you may not know you own stocks, but if you have an RSP, you have stocks. Right? So a lot of people say they're not in the stocks, but they probably do. It's curious, huh? I hope drops. I don't know. If prices drop, what's going to happen? I don't know. I think it's going to stay the same.
Rates. Well, there's a new thing now. It used to be FOMO, right? That was what was driving our market before, was the fear of missing out. If you didn't buy this thing now, you're going to miss out on the price. Now it's ROMO, like the relief of missing out. People don't want to lose money now. They're scared to lose their deposits. They're scared to pay high interest. They're scared to. So now people. That's why they're not acting on anything right now. They're literally scared of the opposite of what our past 3 years have going to been, and now they're just holding back. And I think that's why they're too scared to come out. They don't want to lose the money. They don't want to happen what is now happening today. It's a totally different mindset.
Good. Are you still?
Yeah, if you want to.
Isn't it awful with those fires that are going on in Hong Kong and in Thorncliffe Park?
There was one in Brampton, I think, too, recently.
I thought I was watching a cartoon or something. I watched the other day watching these buildings burn there, and I thought, what the hell's that? I mean, I thought it was the AI generated stuff there. Here was the entire buildings going on, like 8 of them or something. You looking at me? You know what I'm talking about? In Hong Kong, there's 150 people already dead. There's another 150 people missing because these high-rise condominiums went on fire. They're in the middle of construction, and they had these green tarps or something over the building, and the windows, they had this foam. They put some kind of foam or something on the windows, and the foam is flammable. So when something sparked down in the basement or else, the whole building went up, and the building next door, it's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Thorncliffe Park, there's 2 condominiums, and next to each other. One's a low-rise, one's a high-rise.
There are new ones?
They're brick. They're new ones, yeah. I don't know if they're new. I was checking the prices. They're asking about $500,000 for 2 bedrooms, 2 washroom. So I don't know if it's older or new. But there's 2 buildings as far as I can see. There's one looks about 10 stories, one looks about 30 stories, and in between, looks like they built one building and another building. In between the buildings, they did something, and the place is burning in between the buildings, and they can't get any water to it.
They didn't have insulation between the buildings. So
Yeah, it was something weird thing, right? But it's smoldering or something, and it's been burning now for 4 days. Yeah. Imagine that, huh? All these people are out.
4
Wow.
days. They've been out for 4 days.
Yeah. I think they're still not in there.
It's bad for developers too, right? Because eyes are already on them to build us better housing quickly. But now, like, these fire code and things come into consideration. Everyone's got to be more careful, and all the construction code is going to be looked at more carefully too. So everything, it's too bad.
So it's amazing then. And then this poor couple here, these guys bought a townhouse. It's funny how it goes. I'm sure they're going to be covered. They bought this POTLs, right? POTLs, whatever they call them. So they own their building, and then the common elements owns the driveway and the other spots. So in this particular place here, they had a sinkhole in they call it the park area, but in the common area, the sinkhole, and the whole playground sunk into the basement. They got a $2 million fee, and the owners have to pick up the tab because Tarion will cover the house. This is not the house. This is the common areas. It's not part of the house, so it's not Tarion warranty.
And it's not a community public park. It's part of the.
And it's not. And it's still private land. It's still owned by the condominium. So all the condominium owners have to flip the bill to get this thing fixed.
What if they made it into a pool?
Yeah, made into a pool might be covered,
How many units
right?
are there?
There's probably what, I don't know, probably 30, 40 units.
It's a townhouse complex, so
That's what
it's.
I'm saying. How many units? That's a $2 million
It's
cost.
$40,000 each,
Yeah.
right? And they're not even finished yet. So you think that building codes and stuff like that? Again, here we are, right?
Yeah.
And then the developers want.
How did it happen?
They don't know. That's the problem. The Tarion says this wasn't their fault. The manufacturer, the builder says it's not his fault. The manufacturer says it's not his fault.
Everyone.
So it's their fault.
Somebody knew what's happening. Somebody, when they were,
They installed something wrong. Something went wrong. So. But you think Tarion will cover it because it'd be the major structural, right? But major structural is for the building itself, not the common area.
basement, right?
No, it was out in the common area.
Yeah. It's one of the townhouses, they don't have the basement, they have above the ground.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Something was underground.
Something related to the tank installation.
Something to do with the wastewater or water or something. Yeah. So scary.
Not
It is
even
scary.
city responsible for that.
City's not responsible.
Yeah.
No.
Why?
It's not in a city premise.
It's private property.
It's a POTL.
Yeah. You can talk about this if you wanted to as well.
Builders are responsible.
Okay, so and then last thing for me, and then
Yeah, I have a couple more things, but I don't have any more news type stuff.
I got some stuff here. You want to do this one?
Nope.
No. So you do that one then.
No, we're just gonna. You guys all saw the article. The headlines are a little misleading again, but Ontario takes control over real estate regulator. So Ontario appointed an administrator to oversee RECO's operations. So it's not as extreme as them taking over RECO. They didn't take over RECO, but they've hired an administrator to oversee the operations. And that started just today. Coincidentally, we had our own RECO, I guess, inspection. I don't know if I should call it an audit or what. Anyways, we have our own deficiency notice, which is so ironic to hear all the stuff that happened at the same time because we did not steal $10 million. So it just feels like now they're just coming more harsh at all of us just as a result because now they have eyes on them as well, right? So ours is still not finished yet. But
So we'll go back to that in a second.
yeah.
All right, so Ontario hires some public employee to oversee what's going on at RECO, which is fine. They need to do that anyways. And what Carly's suggesting here is that we just had our RECO audit, which we'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sorry, RECO audit. That's right. No.
Tomorrow is Fintrac,
RECO,
so.
But if I
So RECO here. So we had a RECO audit, and they're after us here because I'll just give you. Carly's going to give more detail, I guess.
Yeah, we've already been over it. I can do it again. But yeah, remember, one of them is initialing your bubble on your BRA to initial how long the contract is for. Does that sound super harsh?
Is it very thorough checking by them?
Oh, yeah. They've checked every single file. But yeah, I mean, our results are a little bit less harsh than what they've discovered.
Well, they give, okay, so I have to sign a piece of paper, I have to sign some stuff saying that our trust account, blah, blah, blah. And what happened, sometimes the bank, I don't know why, it has nothing to do with us, but the bank makes a mistake and puts money in the wrong account, and then they fix it later on. So now they're telling to me saying that it's my fault that the bank did that. And I have to sign a piece of paper saying that I promise not to do it again. What the hell I did, I don't know what I did, but the bank did it. Right? Yeah. I mean, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, you let these guys steal $10 million and you didn't do anything, and you're worried about me on a $1,000 thing that I wasn't aware of.
That's corrected, and
So they're going after low-hanging fruit, not going after the big stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They should go to the bank. Then why you guys are doing this?
Yeah, so we don't know what's going to happen about it. It's probably not going to impact your world too much. It just means that someone else is going to be overseeing the internal affairs of what RECO is doing and how they address things. So. There's going to be a board, whether the government runs your board or there's going to be a board in Ontario. Someone's going to have to regulate, AREA does your forms and your health benefits. Do you want AREA to overlook your trust set? That would be a better one to have eliminated than an Ontario board. But I mean, Oria does your forms. I'm okay to have some forms from
So
Oria.
that guy's salary will be paid by RECO.
Who? No, this is government. It's a government employee. Your taxes are paying for this person.
Okay. Ultimately, we are paying.
That's right.
Extra.
$1 million salary.
Yeah.
$1 million salary.
So next year you have to pay more dues for the RECO fees.
That's right.
There you go. They started just today, so we'll see what comes out of that. This one's a good one to talk to, though. Bill 60, that came live, fresh off the press during our last Monday meeting. You want to talk about it? So, less time to prevent an eviction. So Bill 60 is going to give tenants only 7 days to pay any rent owing with the N4 notice before they can even apply for LTB. So that's a good thing.
Say it again. What does that mean?
7 days?
Instead of 14, it's 7 days now.
So you have 7 days to pay. If you get an N4, before the landlord can apply for an eviction hearing, the tenant has 7 days to pay all the rent
owing.
owing.
14 or 15 days.
Yes,
right?
now it's 7.
It used to be 14 days that the tenant was behind in rent, and after 14 days, then you could apply to LTB for whatever process. But now it's 7 days.
Now it's 7 days.
Yeah. So there used to be something where, so this is right to raise tenant issues at rent arrears hearing meeting. So what would happen at a hearing is a tenant would bring up a new issue that they hadn't seen before, and it would become a new topic. So now they can't do that unless they pay 50% of the rent that is owed. So they can't go to the hearing and bring up new things unless they can prove that they paid 50%. They should really be paying 100%, but so that would be for new issue. They've restricted that being in the hearing process, and they've put some more defined the persistent late rent payments. So it says Bill 60 would allow government to define persistent late payment in a way that would limit LTB discretion to consider the circumstances and result in more evictions. I'm not super clear on that one. I think they're trying to define what a late payment means and what the timelines of that.
Okay, so just go back to the first one we talked about, where they have to pay 50% of the rent. Let's say they're not paying the rent. They're not paying the rent because they're saying that the place has bed bugs and the seller hasn't done anything about it. That's no reason not to pay rent. In Ontario, you have to pay rent, and if they have a complaint about bed bugs, whatever it might be, then they got to go back to tribunal and get tribunal to settle whatever money that's there. But they have to pay it up front. So what they're saying now, those guys that haven't paid up front for whatever reason, they got to pay at least 50% before the court will even consider it. Right? So that was good. And then the next one here, persistent late payment. I don't know what that means. I guess if somebody's consistently late, then it looks like their LTB discretion to consider the circumstances before.
I guess what was happening is people would not pay rent and then they'd pay one payment, but they were still late on other ones. And I think they're trying to define how many times does that mean, before you. Yeah.
What else? Restrict the LTB consideration for tenant circumstance about post eviction. So. Has anybody heard about that, where the tenant keeps on postponing? That happens quite often, too. I've read stuff on that. Mm-hmm. They're saying that the LTB consider deciding whether to post an eviction account tenant's personal circumstance and limits the LTB's ability to postpone. Currently, there's no restrictions. So, okay, there's no restrictions right now, so now they're going to put a deadline on that. Right to review errors and decisions. Shorten the time to request a review and decision to 15 days and 30. So if you don't like the choice, then it's gone from 30 days to 15.
Mm-hmm. This is a big one. So Bill 60 will remove the 1 month rent compensation. So when a landlord gives notice, and then 12 to enter the property for their own use or family's use, you would typically have to pay the tenant 1 month's rent. So Bill 60 will remove 1 month rent compensation for N12 eviction if the landlord provides 4 months notice. So currently the 1 month is mandatory with 2 months notice. If you give 4 months, you will not have to give the 1 month's rent. More sheriffs to evict tenants. And it looks like Tribunals Ontario is exploring the creation of an online database for LTB decisions. So we have already, what are the two that exist right now? Open Room. So do they have an open list of evictions and cases on Single Key? It's a way to measure the tenant. But it looks like they're creating a centralized government database for decisions that happen at the LTB, which is fair. That should be open to everybody. So overall, there's some sort of contention between tenants and landlords, but what do you guys think about it overall?
These are good for the legal issue,
Yeah.
good people.
It makes us more similar to other provinces and how tenants are held, I think, too, right? So not fully. These are very tiny steps, I think, but yeah.
The landlords had their hands tied, so they were being
Yeah.
super picky on tenants, and not everybody is.
And they still are.
Record,
Yeah.
and they're not willing to take chances on them because
Yeah.
their hands are tied and they're stuck with them losing money.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will balance it out a little bit where you don't have to be triple A.
Yeah. It's true. Yeah, because
They change anything for the bad guys? They don't listen to the law?
Thought this was funny. Everybody know Liberty Village? Liberty Village got a bad rap, right, with all the density and everything else. So they're building a park for Liberty Village now.
oh, that's nice.
This is the park.
Love, liberty?
It's in a parking lot.
Oh, the parking lot.
So this is Liberty Village's park.
Is it south? On the south side?
I hear a lot of things about Liberty Village being just jam packed with lots of people there. So.
But I think young people like it. It's where all the under 35-year-olds are going to go and
Yes.
buy condos and
Someone told me there are lots of pets around. They love it.
lots of dogs, young people. They live and work there. They work from home in their condo. The what? Oh, the bird bombing. Yeah, that's still there. That's not a good thing for the
They were
area.
talking about years ago that it was so busy there that they could never get a streetcar because all the streetcars were full all the time. Right? You wait in there, you have to wait 3 or 4 cars before they finally get room for one. Right?
Yeah.
Is this guy still you? You on MLS?
Nice, still there. 333 days.
Still for sale?
When does it expire?
This is my
The end of this year.
this is our project. 36 Charlotte Suite 501 now. It's been for sale now for
We've been tracking it for the year.
a long time. 263 days.
It's 333 days now.
333 days now. What's the price on it now?
99999.
Still 999 for how many square feet? 680 square feet. It's probably worth 680. Still trying to get 99999 for it.
I think
Only six
that is
feet?
definitely a strategy that will not work to highly overprice a property. That's one thing that's not going to work for sure. I saw that. I didn't read that. Mine are more Caitlin kind of stuff. Unless you want to go through this, I was going to save it maybe. We kind of went through it last time too. But.
Well, okay. So we've got 2 audits, right? We've got a RECO audit, we've got Fintrac. Tomorrow, Fintrac. Fintrac's the one that's going to be more dangerous, I think.
I think so too. If you guys want to keep your phones on you tomorrow in case they ask me to pull a file while I'm online.
So one thing that RECO asked for doing their thing is they said, I think we're okay anyway, so are we?
I'm not worried. Yeah, the only things that would apply to these guys are some contractual stuff.
I was going to say, like, VRAs have to be there.
Yeah. Your BRA, you have to have a BRA, obviously, and your Schedule A's on your BRA and listing agreements can't be blank. Their main point is that representation is required. So it wasn't that you guys didn't have the forms, it's just I didn't have it necessarily on file right away. So I know you may always have them, so that's why we ask for copies of this, but representation is required, obviously. The one area, we talked about this, it's on the first page of your representation agreement. It's in a little initial that just confirms the total length of time of your agreement. Last year, it used to be a bubble that said that we had to have a minimum of 6 months, or a minimum of 30 days, or sorry, 60 days, depending if it was a BRA or listing agreement. They changed the bubble, so it just looks weird. You have to initial it now. So before you didn't have to unless it was more than 6 months, but now you have to initial that bubble.
That's right. You had to initial the bubble if it was longer than 6 months.
On a listing agreement.
So
Oh yeah,
what's
either.
happening is some agents nowadays, because it's less than 6 months, they're not initially in that bubble. But the form's completely changed. The form doesn't say anything about 6 months anymore. All it says here is that you've agreed to sign listing and initial it. So the form's completely changed. So we need initials on that, right?
Yep. And then the last one, like the other stuff was related to trust accounts, but this one was just that we can't leave your Schedule A's blank. You have to put something in that bubble, whether it's your BRA or listing agreement and the services. It should have some sort of service. If you don't want to put anything, you can put NA or put a line through it. It just can't be blank. RECO wants you to list all your services in there. So we'll leave that to your
So
discretion.
for instance, if you're taking a listing, the schedule for the listing would be, I agree to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what.
You agree to pay me full commission.
Yeah.
I agree to pay for staging. I agree not to pay for staging. Like, what do you do now? What do you guys do for staging? Doesn't matter. You guys pay for staging, or client pay for staging? Anybody else?
We pay chillin'. We pay for staging for 30 days, and then
The real question is not who pays for staging. The real question is, if you pay for staging, do you put it on Schedule B saying I'm paying for staging? 30 days.
yeah.
That's what they want to see. All right. You pay for staging, I'll pay you back what the property sells. That needs to be in that schedule. You just can't see these words and this is what I do. It has to be in that schedule. Anything that costs money, anything that the client's going to pay, or you're going to pay, someone's costs money, you got to be in that schedule.
The listing one's easy. The confusing one is the buyer's rep in terms of
Buyer rep,
services.
same thing, right? So you agree to give me half your commission back.
All on Schedule B, right?
A.
So anything to do with money. So
Schedule A.
unfortunately, if you've agreed to do that, it's got to be in writing, right? So somewhere. So that's where it's
Yeah.
supposed to
So RECO noticed that a lot of ours were blank, and the main point was that we can't leave it blank. That was it.
Something.
We are okay with that. They may not be fully okay with that. We're okay with it because if it doesn't apply, then at least you have something. But you can't have like a contract law says you can't have a schedule included and then have it blank. It contradicts each other, right? So NA for us would be okay. Yep.
For them, is it okay?
For us, it's okay.
For us, it's okay, but for them?
Okay, so
For them, no, they don't like that.
And I'm going to go back to Fintrac for a minute here.
Yep.
The Fintrac asked for a copy of the collapsed deals, the deals that did not go through, deals that couldn't get financing, inspection, whatever it might be, right? When the deal falls through, Fintrac says, where's the receipt of funds? Where's the Fintrac information? Agents think the deal didn't go through. I don't have to do the receipt of funds. I don't have to provide the Fintrac information because the deal didn't go through. You understand what I'm saying? But think of the idea of the terrorist, the Financial Terrorist Act. The idea is to find terrorists, to find money launderers. So what perfect way to give you a fake deal, give you some money there, and then the deal not happen, you give me that money back. And all of a sudden, what have I done? I've laundered the money, have I not? So when you think about it, a failed deal is probably more important than a deal that went through. But I went through all the failed deals and didn't have anything. So we're going to be bugging you for that. On any failed deals, we need a full Fintrac, we need the full BRA, we need everything for that particular reason. Exactly.
Yeah, so even when I'm signing mutual releases now, depending on what side of it you're on, you may see me asking for those documents because we are going to still, if we're holding the deposit, we're going to be flushing it through a trade. If not, I still might ask for some copies of things for our records. If you're not on the buy side, we don't need the receipt of funds. That brokerage would have to take care of that, but I still need Fintrac and all of your other documents. So.
Sean?
Go back to the commission schedule. Do we do the same thing as like home inspection? It's already pre-printed and it's already scheduled A. Do we do the same thing with the commission? Just pretty much say the same thing, give me 8.5%.
Like something that would be outside of like a BRA, for example, or a listing agreement? I wouldn't duplicate anything. No. Yeah, make it something that's not in there already or pre-printed or something that you've talked about or NA. Yeah.
You don't have to repeat what's already in there.
Yeah, don't duplicate it.
Just if you do something else. Let's say if I don't sell this house, I'm going to buy it. That's got to be there, right?
Yeah. Fintrac will probably have more after I'll call it it's an examination tomorrow, so I will be tested as well, but we'll do more training once I get the results from that as well. We're speculating a little bit right now what they're going to come after us for, but we will have more information after tomorrow as well. I noticed more of you are using FinTracker. I can now see all of our past Fintrac forms for anyone that loaded it through FinTracker. We have about 70 users of it, so that's good. We haven't pushed it as a mandatory thing yet, but I think it's going to maybe come to that. We'll see. We're definitely going to be pushing it. It's free for you to use with your Tribe account, and it's very easy, and it just makes sure that we're all compliant because it does look at your corporate directors and your beneficial ownership, and it will scrub your people through a list of ministerial directive people and political and all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a good tool to use.
I think Fintrac's the way to go. I think you should all do Fintracker.
Yeah.
Just go back to something else we just talked about on that schedule, putting stuff in there. Let's say you're going to guarantee a house. Anybody seen that? Anybody seen the advertising? Anybody does that? Guarantee sell your house in 45 days, or blah blah blah, or guarantee your house, blah blah blah. So do you guys understand how that works? Just for those that don't. All right. So what the guy will do, he'll say there's two different ways. Especially in today's market, say, okay, fine, I'm going to guarantee to sell your house, but not today. We're going to put it on the market for 3 months, or 2 months, whatever it might be. And after 2 months, once I get a feel of what's going on, then I'm going to give you a guaranteed price, which is going to be, I'm not going to tell you this, but it's going to be 10% less than what I think the value is, and it's going to be a 6% commission. Right? And it's going to be this, and that. So first of all, they're not going to give you a price day one. They're going to wait for the market on it for a couple of months to feel what the market's about. They're going to come up with an appraised value. The appraised value, they're going to discount it by 10%, and they're going to take their 6% commission off that as well, and that's going to be the guaranteed price.
Could be more than 10%.
I'm sorry?
Could be even more than 10%.
Could be more than 10% in a tough market. You don't know, right? So it's not like it's a guarantee. Basically, all it is give me a call so I can come to your house and try to sell you.
Mm-hmm. At that time, who will decide the price?
That's like these other guys. The other guys put these signs out there saying, what do they say? List for less. Free staging. Free painting. Free lawyer. Free moving. List for less. I mean, I'm sorry, but it's all it is just to get my foot in the door so I can say,
the lead magnet.
It's not all these things. It's one of these things, or it's none of these things, or whatever it might be. So there's no free lunch. Right? That's it.
Yeah.
So don't you get caught up saying I'll do that too, or they'll say, well, so and so said they're going to pay for staging. Well, I will too. Wait a second. No, they're going to pay for staging, but you're going to pay for it first, and they're going to reimburse you. You understand? So don't get caught up in all that. So there's always things going on, right?
Yeah. Can you say that one? I was just gonna. This is a cute story about a son watching his dad, who was a realtor, and they would do all of their prospecting calls in November. So we're a little bit behind, but I liked this story. And he said he would watch his dad sit down at a dining table, and he had his past clients all written down on cards. So there was no Twitter handle or Facebook on these cards. All he had was a phone number. So there was no Instagram, there was no email. He just had a card with his client name and a phone number, and he would sit at the table and he would call them, client after client. And the script is very simple. Hi, it's Carly Fulton calling. I'm just checking in to see if you're contemplating making a move in the next 12 months. And they would do that over and over and over. And this kid remembers watching his dad do it over and over. And now this kid's also a real estate agent. And they're saying, why is November, December so important for prospect? We talk about it all year, but especially why November, December? Can anyone think of why that would be especially important to call your clients then? Because there's about 90-day turnaround time of calling a client versus them turning into an actual call. So the calls you're making in November are the business you're going to be doing in January. So if you're not making any calls now or December, your pipeline for January, February, March is going to be zero unless you're making those calls right now. There's other good things because likely the 90-day rule is sort of when naturally things are going to come to fruition. So for example, you could be making a call, unless he has a matter of fact, after Johnny is done school in September. So there's always some sort of like thing after the summer, when the snow goes away, after Christmas. So the 90 days is always after something, some sort of mark for that person. And that's why you want to call them at least 3 months ahead of time before that mark happens for them when they decide to sell or buy. It's also a good time because right now everyone else is maybe taking a break. So everyone else is sleeping and enjoying their holidays and taking a break, where now you could be making those calls and you're going to stand out to that person while you're making that call. So it's another good reason to be doing your calls now. And your goal is to do this until December 15th, until everybody truly is enjoying the holidays. You still have until now about 2 weeks left of the year to be making these calls. And the call might look different for you. Maybe it's not a phone call. You know, Caitlin will train on doing things like text messages and emails. That's okay too. But between now and then, you should be making those calls. And I've got some other tips from Caitlin about what you can say. But the other thing that he left with, which is nice, is remember that you're not just contacting these people trying to make money. You're doing a great service by helping them when you're calling them. What can I do to help you buy or sell our house? Or who do you know that I can help buy and sell? So you're doing a service to them. And these calls are quite critical. Caitlin talked about last week, she's getting this client or question a lot. She's still getting it now. So how do I get a buyer client right now? And you were in our office last week too. How can these get clients right now? Right? So if you're not making your calls, Caitlin's giving you some other advice to how to get a buyer client in 60 days. Her first suggestion, which we already talked about, was talking to people. So you know that already. You've been trying to think about this, Claire, as well. So you can talk about this too. But one of the suggestions is marketing other homes. So legally and ethically, of course, but promoting MLS listings with permission from a listing agent. So using just listed in your Instagram post, share best deals under $1 million in an area, promote open house this weekend, message me for details. These are all social media type marketing as well. And the script to ask a listing agent is, hey, I have active buyers in this area. Can I promote your listing on my social media? I'll credit you as the listing agent. So last week you were trying to do some ads. Did you have anyone test out an ad? Did you get through that test? So would you support something like this instead? Instead of doing a public ad, is trying to promote someone else's listing?
Something works.
Right.
All right, so somebody here did an open house for a $499,000 property and had 10 people through. So we know there's buyers out there for that price range. Now, is there anything in the market that will sell for that price range?
None.
Nothing, right? So would that be good property to advertise then, or no?
I still would.
You would? Why?
Brings people.
Creates a buyer magnet.
Yeah, but you're attracting people that can't afford anything.
But why couldn't they afford a condo?
I have a buyer like that.
I'm just
Buyers are liars, like all.
I have a buyer
That's
like
true.
that cannot afford it.
because here's what I was going to say. if let's say it was $699, and what other properties like whenever somebody comes to an open house or somebody calls in an ad or something, you'd have other property backup properties. And listen, this one here doesn't quite suit you. I have 4 others. All right, you want to look at these? You want to look at these 4? You sort of have backups there saying like have these other 3 or these other 2 or something else, rather than just trying to sell that one property.
Yeah.
So, sort of a thought right there.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
Creating buyer magnets. These are ideas for magnets. You said some for listings, list low. Those were kind of like listing magnets. These are buyer magnets. Homes under 900K in Durham. Is that more realistic than 499?
Maybe. But what I was suggesting too is that maybe what we did years ago, back in the 90s, right? Who was right in Fila? People would advertise, it was Chartland in particular, right? They would advertise this property. They wouldn't say the property's $499 or $699. They say you can have this property for $3,000 a month. You can have this property for $2,900 a month. Different times, right? So they were sort of attracting somebody that in that price range rather than the bigger price.
Mm-hmm.
Something to try, anyways. You have to do the math and see how it works out. But people are paying rent for what, $3,000 a month rent now for a house?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get anything for $3,000 a month? No.
I think you could.
Probably could, right?
Yeah.
So something like that, just a thought.
These are just, they're magnets, right? So it's whatever works for you. She had ideas, 3 detached homes in Toronto for under $1 million, DM me for the list. She's saying, don't show addresses publicly. Tell them to DM you so they have an excuse to reach out to you and get some information. Open house hunting is your fastest shortcut to being in a house and having people come to you. So asking listing agents if you can host their open house. I don't recommend posting in the WhatsApp group like, hey, I'm available to host an open house, because the listing agents aren't going to be there watching the messages. I would do a scrub of Percy Fulton brand new listings and reach out to that listing agent directly. I wouldn't even come to me and say, hey, Carly, I'm looking for an open house. I don't know every single listing that came out today and who's looking for an open house. I would go right to Realm and see our new listings. You can do a backward search of all Percy Fulton listings. Host 1 to 2 per weekend, so make it a consecutive habit. Collect buyer leads right at the door. She's saying open houses in the $600K to $1 million range. So to your point, maybe it's over that $500K range, but $600 to $1 million in Toronto or Durham can bring as many as 10 to 40 groups of people through. Many of them are unrepresented buyers, and you can become the agent that they connect with. Targeted buyer ads. We were trying to do this last week. You didn't end up doing your test though, right? So I'm still curious about this, but some examples could be ads online, get a list of detached homes under $1 million, free daily list of price reductions in Toronto, want a backyard, get homes with large lots under 900K, DM me. So these are just targeted ads. Partnering with mortgage brokers, and door knocking and circle prospect for buyers. So it's a good idea. Instead of door knocking, asking when they're going to move or list their house, one of your scripts could be, I'm working with several buyers in the $600 to $1 million range who love this area. Have you considered moving, or do you know a neighbor or family member who's looking to be in the area? This works really well in Whitby, Ajax, Oshawa, newer communities, Markham, Newmarket, Richmond Hill. The simplest way is working with your personal network. Text this to everybody immediately. Hey, I'm helping several buyers find homes between $600K and $1 million in Toronto, Durham, York. Do you know anyone who's looking to buy right now? I'm happy to help. So these are just direct referrals from your own database. Facebook, Instagram ads, Google local ads, realtor.ca, TikTok walkthrough videos, open houses, posting on community Facebook groups. There's many things you can do to get a client today is the main point. Talking to people is the number one thing. What to avoid, though, is just waiting around for listings, spending all day on branding instead of lead gen, only posting, I'm an agent, not adding any value, and not contacting listing agents for permission to promote. So from Caitlin, she's saying happy buyer hunting. But I think a lot of people in general are focused on buyers right now. Everyone's a little bit scared to take on the listing. They don't want it sitting for a long time. Nothing wrong with trying to focus on buyers for your database right now. But the work has to happen right now for you guys to have anything to play with in January, February. Yeah. So final sentiments. We don't have any holidays. We're back next week.
For going back to buyers, there's all kinds of new home buyer programs out there, right, to save money for first-time buyers. So you don't necessarily want to tell them all the things that are available. You want to put something out there saying that call me for the latest update of government money to buy your next house. I don't know, something like that. Mm-hmm. And you've got all those different things, right?
Yeah. Was there anything from today that you wanted to talk about, or no? From the video earlier?
This fellow was talking about the video today. Everybody watched it. It was kind of long there, but he's a lot of words without a lot of meat.
I'll say what I took from it too. I only watched it for a tiny bit, but she was talking about learning the market. And as an agent, you have to take it upon yourself to really dig into the market and learn it yourself. And she's saying you don't have to be like an expert in macroeconomics and be able to explain like a Benjamin Tallwood, but you have to understand the market with, so you can understand how to handle your clients. Like she said, you have to see the writing on the wall. And it's not just understanding, the market's bad. We all feel it because we can feel it in our energy. But why is the market bad? And why are people's behaviors driving that? And then what can I do in my business to help move that forward too, right? But that's why we have meetings like this to share articles. We've spent hours, going on the internet and bringing you information that we think can help you in your business. And the point is to take it back to your clients and help them out and try to build your business and help the current clients you have, help the listings that you have right now to get them sold, and then to get more into the pipeline for later. This is the new reality.
Yeah. So one thing I noticed between old agents and new agents, I'm not saying which one's better, which one's worse, but some of the older agents would be handing out calendars right now. The big calendars, and they'd have old boxes. And 20 years ago, 30 years ago, we would have a warehouse downstairs with all these calendars coming in to deliver to the agents to be handed out, right? So, what's replaced the calendars?
AI.
AI's replaced.
What? So nothing?
Smartphones.
What's that?
Smartphones.
Your phones replace the calendar?
Phones start calling.
So is your smartphone and AI? So what? It just sits there and wait for it to give you business?
Well, actually, I find when I write it down on paper, I get it done.
So there's still people like you who might want a paper calendar.
I write down what I have to do for the day.
And what is it you have to do?
Well, I have some goals that I have to attain.
Sorry?
She has goals.
That I have to reach
All right.
for myself.
So what are we doing to stay in contact with your past clients?
So I know Rochelle and you, and maybe Steve, I think as well, you just had client appreciation photo shoots. That's fun. You both had a good turnout. Michelle did it here in the office. I know Steve and Nusen, I think, did it at like a third-party sort of studio. That's a great way to connect with people that you know already in your circle. And Rochelle made a good point, was to do it in like November, so they could use the photos for their own Christmas cards in December. And then you're also not too stressed being busy with your own Christmas stuff. So November's not a bad time.
Okay, instead of flyer, or instead of calendars, email? Email calendar, email greetings?
Like a digital calendar, you mean? Or?
Digital calendar, or not calendar, just some type of contact, right? Some type of contact. What else?
Why is Christmas time the one time when we all like try to do something? Like, why not do this throughout the year as well, you know? Yeah.
But you need to contact your clients, right? And say, hey, I'm still in business, or what do you think about doing something, or the market's great, or something. Don't talk about the market's bad. I mean, you need to contact folks, right? So if you're doing calendars, that's great. Who uses a calendar at home? Anybody? Some people? Yeah. Big whiteboard at home? Yeah. You've got a fridge with a calendar on it?
He's trying to, magnets is what you're trying to hint at?
We used to do, so Jenny, we used to hand out, what, 900 of those magnetic calendars. Those
3,000 calendars back in the day.
3,000, those magnetic calendars, 3,000 we used to order. How many this year?
Nobody does them anymore.
No, but zero. So what replaced the calendars?
Chad, you know what replaced it or no? They said, where's the calendars, right? Yeah, because they're used to it.
Because I thought they didn't care or anything like that. But
No, they know. They notice that.
yeah, so I still give them out.
Good.
So some people still give them out, but if you're not going to give out calendars, you're not going to do the magnetic calendars, then what got to do something else, right? Christmas card. What's wrong with that? Christmas card's fine, right?
Yeah.
A handwritten Christmas card would be nice.
Do something,
who
right?
gets Christmas cards at home anymore? Not too many. So if you sent a Christmas card, it would make you different, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can carry alcohol and whatever you see.
Sure.
I know somebody who would go to Walmart and get last year's Christmas cards, and then they'd run a message on it and run it through a printer, and the printer, who is it, Paragon?
Yeah, they can do that.
And you just take the Walmart things and go to Paragon, and Paragon would say "Merry Christmas" from Joe Blow and his dog, and stamp it on there and send them off.
Yep.
Right?
So now's the time to do something.
Different things, right?
Yep.
What's the cost of mail now? $1.50 or something?
Just under, yeah.
$2.61 for a calendar with one paper clip and one paper.
The wall calendar.
The wall calendar and a letter, and with the envelope and so on, it's under 100 grams, $2.61.
$2.61, and a regular mail, first class mail, just like a Christmas card, but you $1.30 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that, $1.30.
Something like that.
Good.
And those guys who are on Morse Marketing, you've got that's no Morse Marketing's no longer sending out mailers, so you got to replace those.
Yeah. So we mentioned kits as an option for
Kits
that.
would be a nice one, yeah, KITS
Or mission
DNS,
response.
DSM. Mission response.
Yeah, kits is quite expensive.
Yeah, kits is expensive for sure.
Yeah, they do have, I think they're $400 or $500 set-up fee.
Yeah.
And there's a monthly fee as well. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Okay, good. Nothing else for me. Keep you posted on Fintrac. Very exciting. Thanks, guys. Technology Day, we'll do something, yeah. Yeah, we'll organize something for sure. We're going to do business planning first.
He saw me right away. He saw me right away.
Yeah. I don't think there's any session this Wednesday, but Caitlin will communicate something. So, yeah. Okay, have a good week, everybody. See you.